I'm Dr. David Tingay from Melbourne, and I'd like to welcome you all to CDH Australia's Sunflower Sunday. This is a fantastic initiative from an amazing organisation. I hope you have a great day, and I wish you all the best for the future.
Hello and welcome to CDH Sunflower Sunday. Thank you for sharing today with us. I'm Courtney Vodopik, President of CDH Australia, and I'm honoured to be hosting our online event in 2021. Today we'll see hundreds of Australians gathered around their screens to come together as one and make sure that no family faces CDH alone. Please help us to achieve this by sharing your photos from today using our hashtag CDHSFS. Last year we hosted our first ever virtual event, but of course this day has been marked by CDH families for many years. And the thing that keeps bringing us back together each year is the care we receive from our amazing community. As a parent of a child born with congenital diaphragmatic hernia, I understand too well the fear and the anxiety that comes with the diagnosis, and also the challenge of ongoing complications due to this rare and sometimes poorly understood condition. But it's the kindness and the shared knowledge from other CDH families that keeps seeing us through.
Hi everyone, thank you for joining our CDH Sunflower Sunday virtual event. My name is Ariana and I was born with a congenital diaphragmatic hernia. Last year I became the youngest ambassador for CDH Australia. I'm really proud to be raising CDH awareness today. You can too. Share your pics from your event and use hashtag CDHSFS. Include your family's story to help people understand what it means to be affected by CDH. Thank you for joining us today and for supporting CDH Australia.
We're joined today by families whose lives have been touched by CDH in different ways. We welcome the parents-to-be who are expecting a baby diagnosed with CDH. We know it can be a stressful time, and we encourage you to join our support groups to connect with our community for support and for hope. We're joined also by families of children born with CDH who mark the milestones in hours, then in days, weeks, and eventually years. We understand your challenges, and we are here for the good days and for the bad. We appreciate also the long-serving community members who join us today. Your children may have grown up, but you continue to maintain your connection with us to share your knowledge, your experience, and to help new families to survive and to thrive. So thank you. And finally, we acknowledge the many families of CDH Angels who are joining us today. We're here to offer you love and compassion, and we deeply appreciate the generosity of the angel parents who are actively involved in our community by supporting other families through grief and loss.
We were expecting our second child in December 2020. Our 3-year-old son Hamish was very excited to become a big brother. At our mid-pregnancy scan, we were told there was a problem. Our baby boy Freddie was diagnosed with congenital diaphragmatic hernia, or CDH. He was considered a moderate case, but would still require an operation after he was born.
Freddie was just 5 days old when he underwent surgery, and as he recovered, our little boy kicked lots of goals. After 3 weeks, he learned to breastfeed while on high flow, which stunned the doctors and terrified the nurses. He smiled at us for the first time when he was 5 weeks old. We were told that the best way for lungs to grow was for the body to grow, so the more weight he put on, the better, and boy did he get chunky. Freddie passed his developmental tests and spent some time on low-flow oxygen. We were so proud of our smiley boy.
As Freddie neared 12 weeks of age, his condition changed. He began to struggle, and we couldn't find out why without invasive testing. We didn't know if it was normal baby fussing or something more serious. From this point onwards, it was a very difficult time for our family.
Freddie had lots of tests and a long stay in the paediatric intensive care unit, but his prognosis was always uncertain. His condition deteriorated and he had to be reintubated. We had a CT scan done, which showed that his right lung was non-functional and his left lung was badly damaged too. Freddie's doctor said he had defied scientific expectations to make it this far.
We were so incredibly proud of him, but after trying so hard for 4.5 months, he couldn't keep going. On the 8th of May 2021, he passed away in both of our arms. We then held a memorial service with a beautiful sunflower theme to honour our brave little boy.
We wanted to draw attention to our son's battle with this rare birth condition, so I decided to run in the Gold Coast Marathon in Freddie's memory. I signed up to fundraise for CDH Australia to contribute to their research projects and support service program. I was blown away by how many friends and family donated. I'm so grateful for everyone's support. These funds will be Freddie's legacy. Due to lockdown, the Gold Coast Marathon became a virtual run, but I decided to go ahead anyway. I wore my CDH Australia gear to raise awareness for CDH. I tracked my progress on the app, and I ran the distance with Freddie in my heart.
We are determined to live our lives in a way that honours Freddie's strength and bravery. He's taught us so much and has enriched our lives beyond measure. We miss him beyond words, but he lives on in our hearts and minds every minute of every day.
No one should suffer through what Freddie and our family did. Our hope is that one day a cause for this brutal condition is found so it can be prevented. Until then, we're really glad that we could help CDH Australia to make sure that no family faces CDH alone.
October was Pregnancy and Infant Loss Awareness Month, and we stand with other wonderful organisations like SANS in their pledge to say their name. We want to help break the stigma that prevents grieving families from seeking support, finding healing, and most of all, having hope. Any experience with CDH is incredibly challenging and felt by all members of the family. So if you or your loved ones need support, please visit our website to connect with our support services team or have a chat to your healthcare provider.
Hi, I'm Caitlin. I'm a CDH mum and the family support volunteer for CDH Australia. Thank you for taking part in our virtual event and a big welcome to our new families. If you're new, please ask any questions in our support groups or you can private message me on Facebook. You are not alone. We're here to support you at any stage of your CDH journey.
For over 20 years, our organisation has worked towards the goal of making sure that no family faces CDH alone. To help families navigate the CDH journey, we create and share practical CDH information. We manage online support groups, we provide care packs to CDH families, and we host forums and awareness events. We also provide financial support to help families with the unexpected costs of a CDH diagnosis. In recent years, we decided to contribute to Australia's CDH research to offer our wider community a brighter future. Congenital diaphragmatic hernia is still not well known in the medical community and is considered to be a rare birth defect, so families can often face delays in receiving a diagnosis and appropriate medical care. We now dedicate a portion of the funds that we raise to local CDH research that benefits local CDH families. In 2018, we funded our first research grant, which helped to uncover the benefits of delaying umbilical cord clamping at birth in infants with CDH. In 2020, we donated funds to purchase medical equipment to help improve outcomes for babies who need support by providing life-saving care with the umbilical cord still intact. And now we're in the planning stage of our third major research project, and we are hopeful that we can continue to improve the lives of families affected by CDH.
Hi, we are Emiko, Jeremy, Ari and Jenga, otherwise known as Team Tiger. Our CDH journey began at our 20-week pregnancy scan when we were told our baby had congenital diaphragmatic hernia. The doctor explained what this was, but all I remember is being told our baby had a life-threatening condition that I'd never heard of. What was meant to be an exciting scan turned into heartbreak, and we were scared about the path now laid in front of us.
While I was looking online to find information about this rare birth condition, we found CDH Australia on Facebook. We joined the online support group and began to read questions and answers shared by other families going through the same experience. Eventually, we felt comfortable enough to ask the community some of our own questions. We were really concerned about the statistics for children born with CDH, a condition that severely affects a baby's lungs. We learnt that each year around 112 families in Australia receive a CDH diagnosis. Half of these babies survive and half of these babies do not. That's over 100 parents whose hearts are broken each year.
Fortunately, Ari's diagnosis was on the milder side. In a year when the word unprecedented was used an unprecedented number of times, he was born July 17th, 2020, into the beginning of very tough COVID restrictions in Victoria. He had to be transported to the Royal Children's Hospital, and only one of us could ever be with him in the hospital at the one time. Emmy had to stay at the other hospital while I was at the Children's. We wore PPE during visits, and at one point there were a few COVID cases in the NICU ward. Ari seemed oblivious to all of this, even to the fact that he had something less than optimal about his body. At 4 days old, Ari had surgery to repair the hole in his diaphragm. We watched on as he learned how to breathe on his own and then feed without the feeding tubes. While there were some backward steps, in all, Ari grew stronger and stronger, and after 3.5 weeks, our little boy was ready to come home. So even though there were additional challenges along the way, our story is certainly one that has a happy ending.
Throughout my pregnancy, birth and Ari's first year, I felt so strongly about helping other families going through their CDH journey. I wanted to give back in the way that so many families and mothers had helped me during this time. So in October 2020, I joined the CDH Australia board. It was a big first year. I returned to my paid job part-time after mat leave. And in my free time, I worked with CDH Australia, building a new website for the community. I wanted to make sure that other families could easily find the information they needed, and I'm so glad that I could help in a meaningful way.
Earlier this year, we decided to sign up for the Run Melbourne Half Marathon. We asked our friends and family to join Team Tiger to raise awareness and funds for CDH. We named ourselves Team Tiger because Tiger was Ari's nickname while Emmy was pregnant, and many of our family and friends continue to call Ari Tiger. And Ari's middle name is the Japanese word for tiger.
Before signing up for the half marathon, I didn't even like running, and I had only ever run a maximum of 5k. I think the half marathon was a way to show Ari how this negative diagnosis could actually be a positive. I wanted Ari to see how many people were willing to rally together in his name, and that despite a tough start to life, his CDH meant he was changing the world for the better. In the months we were training, every time I ran and felt my lungs expand, whenever I got out of breath, and whenever I had to push myself to increase the number of Ks I was doing, I felt so grateful that my body could run. And one of my great hopes is that one day Ari's lungs will be strong enough to see him running with me and Jem.
Run Melbourne was meant to take place in July 2021, which was the perfect timing for Ari's first birthday. Unfortunately, due to strict Victorian COVID restrictions, the event couldn't go ahead in person and instead became a virtual run for us. We completed the half marathon on the 31st of July with our dog Jenga setting the pace. We were then offered a place to run at the Sandy Point Fun Run in September, so we signed up in the hopes of running with our friends and family. Unfortunately, COVID restrictions persisted and so had other plans. Instead, we used our daily exercise time to run our second half marathon.
While we were disappointed that we couldn't take part in person with our family and friends, we were really proud of what we achieved. Team Tiger raised over $4,000 to support CDH babies and their families, and at the same time we were able to let more people know about congenital diaphragmatic hernia and the amazing work that CDH Australia does. It's been such a heartwarming journey and a great reminder of all the kindness of people in a year that has been so rough and testing for so many. We are honoured to help make sure that no family faces CDH alone.
Our IT services and CDH information needed a refresh, so we were proud to launch our new and improved website earlier this year. Information is now laid out in a way which is easy to navigate and easy to find what you're looking for. Our new video explainer from Dr. David Tingay and Dr. Leah Hickey is an excellent way for us to share information with anyone who would like to better understand congenital diaphragmatic hernia.
Hi, I'm Michaela.
Hi, I'm Molly.
Hi, I'm Jeff.
And we're Team Maurice, a CDH survivor family. CDH Australia has been a big part of our lives since joining in 2011. The support groups have made us feel less alone, that there's people out there that understand and have had similar experiences. We have organised Townsville's CDH Sunflower Sunday for the past 5 years. This year, we created the first CDH virtual awareness walk and conducted many other charity events such as a Barefoot Bowls event, Shoes Off for Marley, which has raised almost $20,000 for CDH Australia and the Townsville Hospital Foundation. Marley was born with undiagnosed left-sided congenital diaphragmatic hernia. At 36 weeks, my waters broke and an ultrasound revealed Marley's condition. I'll never forget the words the neonatologist said, "Your baby is very unlikely to survive. You need to prepare yourself for this." Marley was given 10% chance of surviving birth and an even less chance of surviving her first 24 hours.
Marley was born on the 13th of May 2010. 13 may be unlucky for some, not for us. On the first day of life, Marley went for her first surgery to repair her diaphragm, to remove all the pressure from her tiny little organs that had put her onto her heart and lungs. When Marley was stable enough, she was flown to Brisbane. For 3 months, we'd helped her small body repair and get strong enough for her next surgeries. On day 100, Marley re-herniated and required emergency life-saving surgeries. After 5 months in hospital, we managed to bring Marley home, with great joy to both Michaela and I. Since then, Marley has had several other surgeries to repair her heart and diaphragm.
Say hello, everyone. Hello, I love you. I'm feeling better.
Marley is now 11 years old, and even though she is stable, there is no cure for CDH. Marley requires constant monitoring by many specialists. Our biggest challenge is to remain vigilant and not become complacent with Marley's condition. She still has a hole in her diaphragm and some of her bowels are in her chest. People hear Marley's story, they always say, "Oh, but she's okay now though, and she doesn't even look sick." It's comments like these that encourage us to raise awareness for this life-threatening condition.
We are in awe of her courage and her strong will to live. But her recovery was full of ups and downs.
We are proud to raise CDH awareness to make sure no family faces CDH alone. Although we can't be together today, we are together in spirit.
Hi, I'm Susan. I work with CDH Australia. I work alongside our team of amazing volunteers who donate their personal time and professional skills to run our organisation and support families affected by congenital diaphragmatic hernia. I'd like to take a moment to say thank you. Our team members often volunteer in the evenings during precious family time. They contribute in many invisible yet significant ways to the CDH community. We simply wouldn't exist as an organisation without this commitment. I'd also like to give a shout out to the partners and families of our volunteers. Thank you for setting up marquees, blowing up balloons, or even delivering a hot dinner to the computer so our volunteers can keep working. You're part of our support network and we appreciate what you do. Thank you so much. And last of all, I'd like to show deep appreciation for the families who featured in our video today. We're honoured to share stories from many areas of the CDH community. No matter what stage of your journey, we hope you feel seen and represented. We're grateful to all of our volunteers, fundraisers, donors, ambassadors and supporters. CDH Australia is a charity, but really we're a community of people who care about each other. Thank you for being a part of our community.
One of the few benefits of the pandemic has been the improvement in the way that we can connect online. A record number of people have registered for CDH Sunflower Sunday in the past 2 years, and we are delighted that families from all over Australia and New Zealand can join us. November is Australia's CDH Awareness Month, and it's also that time of year when we encourage fundraising and donations to support families and to try and conquer CDH for good. By sharing your story and encouraging donations, you are helping us to create a brighter future for all of the families in our community. So don't forget to keep using that hashtag, CDHSFS. Thank you to everyone who has already contributed, who's fundraised, or simply shared a link to encourage donations. It's been another tough year for everyone, and your help means that we can continue to deliver our services and fund CDH research. Your contribution positively impacts many lives. So, on behalf of the CDH Australia Board, we thank you all for joining us today to support one another. We believe strongly in our vision for no family to face CDH alone, and days like today reassure us that we are not alone. A community of care surrounds us all, and there is strength in our shared experience and the hope for a better outcome for children born with congenital diaphragmatic hernia in the future.
Hi, I'm Lucy. I was born with CDH. Please share your pictures with us so that we can know what CDH is like for you. But it's time to get our bubble blowers ready.
Please join us in blowing bubbles in recognition of all babies born with CDH, both in our arms and in our hearts. We remember their fighting spirits, preciousness, and gift of love. Today, we reflect on the struggles and triumphs of the families in our community, and we celebrate the loving friendships we've made. We now pay special respect to the families of our darling CDH angels with a reading of remembrance to finish our event. Precious, tiny, sweet little one, you'll always be to me so perfect, pure and innocent, just as you were meant to be. We dreamed of you and your life, and all that it would be. We waited and longed for you to come and join our family. We never had the chance to play, to laugh, to rock, to wiggle. We long to hold you, touch you now, and listen to you giggle. I'll always be your mother. He'll always be your dad. You'll always be our child, the child that we had. But now you're gone, but yet you're here. We sense you everywhere. You are our sorrow and our joy. There's love in every tear. Just know our love goes deep and strong. We'll forget you never. The child we had but never had, and yet we'll have forever.